Hi guys, how you guys doing today? I just wanted to come to you guys for a little bit of a review on some palettes that I picked up at my local beauty supply store. And they're by Beauty Treats. And I actually purchased 2 of them a while back. And I just thought, why not just do a review only using these products. I only use these products today. This is the face that I wore today. My camera is not giving me any justice right now because I'm like right in front of my window, so it's basically letting the light in, so you see it looks kind of shiny, but in actuality it's not. It's not cakey, and it's not really sticky or anything like that. But if you guys can just see, this is all I have on is the Beauty Treats palettes. That's it. I bought the face contour palette, and I also have the concealer palette. So the first thing that we're going to start off with, and I'm going to also give you some pros and cons of using these palettes as well. The very first one I want to start out with is basically the concealer palette. Once again, this is by Beauty Treats. Now I'm going to go ahead and give you a negative about these, the packaging, the containers that the concealer is in. They're very, very cheap. Let me just say that. I think I paid about maybe $5.99-ish in that range for these 2 palettes. Not together, but as single price. $5.99 each. The packaging is very, very plasticky. Very plastic. You don't really get that good of a quality, of course, because once again, it's basically a beauty store makeup. But yeah, it comes in these little plastic containers like this, very, very plastic, and you have the dish that sits down into the plastic container. You can easily break these things, and I kept it for a while before I actually broke it, and I take really, really good care of my makeup, but whoop-de-doo. This one is cracked, and the 2 little prongs came off of it, so here's the deal. That's what you get. The container is not good, so I give it a down for that. If they were going to use plastic, they could have used a harder plastic than this, I would think. But basically, once again, this is all that I have on my face. I just used the concealer palette, and I also used the face contour palette, which are much more of just powder. Now, the container is a no-no. But these are the shades. I'm sorry if you really guys can't really see. As you can see, I use this one. I use this one a lot. As you can see, I hit pan already. This is more of a darker shade. I'm so sorry. My lighting is like, ugh, horrific. Okay, here we go. And then you see you have one that is more of a yellowish shade. And then as you go on down, you get more to the more of the paler shades down into the pan. I'm sorry, but my lighting is like totally off, so you really can't really see the true colors of this pan. Okay, maybe if I do it like that, you can kind of see somewhat, a little bit. But yeah, this is the one that I really, really use a lot. I love using this one right here. I used this one today to basically sit under my eyes, a little bit down my nose, and also my forehead, on my chin as well. I did not do a reverse highlight with this either. The consistency of this is very, very, it's waxy, almost like when you first buy it. It's more of very, very waxy, like you have to really really work with it. But like I said, I've had this for a while, and I have actually let it sit. If you have noticed of a lot of the products that you have used or that you have purchased, you probably used it one time, threw it in a makeup bag, and was like, you know what, never that. But then you go back to it later on, maybe months later, and it basically begins to work great, which I have had this for a while, so this is my go-to palette. I love using this. Yeah, and I also use this color. Yeah, you can't really even see, but it's more of more of an on the lighter shade, medium. I would say in the medium range, and I use that basically for my highlight on my eyes. If you can really see, I use that as a highlight on my eyes for my brows. I'm sorry, for my brows, just for a highlight as well. And once again, guys, my camera is crappy, but I will have pictures at the end so you actually can see what it does. But yeah, it's more of a waxy, very waxy, almost like a greasy feeling. It's not more of a creamier concealer that you would get, more of a creamier concealer. It's not like that. It's more of between the two of being creamy and waxy at the same time. It's not sticky at all. It's very smooth, and it does have it has a little bit of a silkiness to it. But like I said, that palette, and actually I did my makeup at about 9:30 ish, and it is now 3:21, and I've had it on all day. Right at 1 o'clock, I did have a problem with it kind of shining up, oily, very oily feel. But I went through the drive-thru at McDonald's, and the girl was like, "Your makeup is so beautiful." And then I took a picture once I got to my destination, and I was like, "Wow, if she thought it was beautiful and I had all of these oil spots going on, then hey, it is what it is." But yeah, this I'm starting to love it. I'm starting to like it, so I'm starting to give it a little bit of a thumbs up. I'm actually beginning to actually enjoy this concealer palette. I really am. Now it has a yellowish color in here as well. I used it, but I don't know. I think I had used it up under my eyes or something like that. I don't know. I just been sticking with those two. With these two. I've been sticking with these two. It is what it is. It does great for me. Now, when it became oily and became very shiny, what I did was I added no more product to my face at all. I added no powders. I added nothing. I just took my beauty blender, because I carried my beauty blender with me today, and I basically just tapped in those areas of where I had started to shine up it. And also I have pictures of that from me shining, and from after using my beauty blender, what the results were, and it was fine. I mean, it just, like, it almost just said itself, I guess I could say. I just basically patted it in and basically went about my day. So yeah, the only downfall about this is that you will get a little shiny during the day, but that really didn't bother me too much at all. It wasn't really a problem for me. I just kind of blotted it, and it is what it is. And this is the concealer palette, and it has done a great job. Now, one thing I can say as well is that it did kind of seep into my fine little lines under my eyes. Now, but with that, I have a problem with all concealers doing that. They're seeping into my fine lines and all that. With setting it and doing all that other type of stuff, it still seems to seep into my eyes. So it really does not bother me, because I've dealt with it. You understand what I'm saying? So even with that, I just took the beauty blender, went right on up under there, blended it out, did whatever I needed to do, and it was back to where it needed to be. I didn't reapply anything. I didn't put nothing else on. I didn't do none of that. But I usually have problems with my makeup settling into my fine lines, especially up under my eyes, in which I really have a hooded lid. So if I do use concealer up here, it will sometimes settle into my crease on my eyelids. And also, as I know, when I get older, I'm going to have a wrinkle across my forehead, because I'm always doing this for some reason. But and it will settle into my line across my forehead. But other than that, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me at all. So overall, I would give this palette probably about a 7.5 maybe, because it's straight. You know what I'm saying? If you really ain't got no money or whatever, and you just want to pick you up a concealer palette It is what it is. Would I suggest this palette? Yeah, but maybe to a person that has more of a drier skin tone. Drier skin type. Not somebody who actually has a, who deals with the oils and things like that throughout the day. Because I have oily skin as well, but I have more of a combination skin. I'm pretty much in between the dry and oily myself. So with me using this, I didn't have a problem with it. So I guess it's all about what type of person you are. If you prefer to be very, very matte, or if you prefer to be, just have a little oil there. I don't know. And the second one is the face contour palette, which it also comes in the same type of container. And these are the shades that are in the concealer palette. Once again, these are the only two products that I used today. I didn't use anything else. These are the only two things that I did use, and these are the shades. I'm hoping that it shows up, so I'm going to do it from darkest to light. One of these darker shades, which is this one, it has like a little, if you can see, a little gold shimmer to it. It's it has a shimmer to it, more of on a touch of a bronzer, and I did use that on my high points of my cheekbones. I dapped it in the middle of my forehead because I didn't want to change the color of it. Now, one thing about this is that it has a lot of reds in the darker shades. In the darker shades, it has a lot of red in it. And what I've seen in the more lighter shades, I didn't look yellow to me. I just looked white, really white. So, in all of those shades. All of those shades and all of those darker shades have a lot of red in it. And one thing that I have noticed about a lot of the foundations that are in a beauty store is that they have a lot of reds in it. I don't know why, unless it's just the kind that I purchased. They have a lot of reds in it. I don't know, but yeah, it has a lot of red in it. But I've learned how to just, because when I first used it, I'm like, oh my god, I'm like so freaking red. But this would be great for me in the summertime when I actually darken up. And this is my first time using it by itself in the wintertime, and I actually like it. It's straight. I really like it. But I use that on my high cheekbones and things of that nature. And what I use to set under my eyes and things of that nature was this shade right here. Now that one's showing up. This shade right here is what I used on my, for my highlights and things of that nature. And I also used this darker shade for contouring. It gave me a lot of, it didn't give me like this really dramatical contour. It gave me a really soft contour, and I did like that about it. It gave me a soft contour. Once again, you don't need to use a lot of this because it has a lot of red in it. If you're somebody who really falls in between the warm and the cool shade, this would be awesome. This would be awesome for you to use, because you fall right in between. So basically, we can sometimes make a lot of stuff work as far as being just cool or just being just warm. Usually when you fall in between that warm and that cool tones, you can kind of make some makeups work, if you understand what I'm saying. Yeah, so I haven't hit pan on any of these right now, like I said, because you don't really have to use a lot of this. Don't use a lot of this powder. You don't have to. You really don't have to. And it's very silky. And that's one thing I can say is silky. Very silky shade. Feel to it. It doesn't feel chalky, and it does not come on chalky either. It's just really just beautiful. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. I love it a lot. Let me give y'all some of this dark. And it doesn't look muddy on the skin. It doesn't look muddy at all on the skin. And I really like, I'm starting to like those palettes. So I just want to come to you guys, just basically do like a quick review and let you guys know, anybody who is basically interested. And also, oh my god, it also has a I guess you would call that a highlighter shade, because it's like a gray highlighter shade. And I don't use this nowhere. The only place I use this is like right in here. That's the only place I use it. And it was popping. Like, the pigments of these are I think are pretty good. Like, you really can. Okay, here we go. I think the pigments are really good. It's more of a silvery shade. And I just use that right there and to just kind of open up my eyes. I don't use it anywhere else. I don't know. I don't use it anywhere else. I just, you know, I don't know. Maybe y'all guys can tell me what is the purpose of this. Maybe it's a highlighter, I guess. But where in the world would you use that at? You know what I'm saying? I couldn't see myself putting it on because it's just going to look gray. It's just going to look like you got gray shadow on your cheeks. I'm not going to do that. But I do use it in my inner tear ducts and blend it out. And it is, I love it. So, yeah. So, this is the face contour palette, okay, which comes with 6 face powders, 2 highlighters, and 2 bronzer powders. So yeah, so I guess this shimmery shade is good to read stuff. This shimmery shade right here is also a highlighter, and see, that would be good to use under my eyes as well. But I was using this shade, which is similar to it. It just doesn't have that the shimmers in it. So yeah, so anybody that was basically interested in that, this is it. I don't have nothing else on but those 2 products right there. And if y'all were just wondering, you know, how does it look with just those 2 products without using any other foundations, powders, or anything else, just using these 2 things from a beauty supply store, what does it look like? How does it do throughout the day? Will it last? How does it look? Can you really work something? And that's one thing that I pride myself and I congratulate myself in, is that I can take a inexpensive makeup and make it look great. So basically, if you can work with that, you can basically work with anything, I will believe. So yeah, so this is my face for today. And also I will have pictures at the end as well, and also pictures of when it began to look shiny and what I did afterward, with the pictures I look like afterwards. And I also have pictures before and after I applied it all together. So I just want to thank you guys for watching, and see you guys next time.